Hello there, YouTube. This is A Negative Atheist coming at you with another video. Today we are going to look at the second one of my tanks, my bigger tanks. It's a 36-gallon bow front aquarium, and currently it's housing bristlenose plecos, which will be breeding hopefully very soon. And we also have kept all of our female betas there. They will also be bred. And I'm breeding a ton of snails and plants, which you are about to see. I'm probably going to be expanding this one to include some maybe egg scattering species, something smaller. The plecos are usually pretty good about eggs, them being ancestral plecos, the L144s. And that variety, they're not really very heavy meat eaters. And I may eventually go for some shrimp as well. I'm thinking Blue Dreams. I know what you're thinking. Beta and shrimp, probably not the best idea, but we've had some success with keeping a male beta with some shrimp, and shrimp usually aren't a huge ordeal. Also, if you're not already following me on Facebook, I do have my shrimp aquarium I just posted a picture of today. It's going pretty strong. That colony is going really well. We're up over 50 shrimp, and I have 3 more females due to give birth any day now. They're about to pop. Really well buried, and we're going to be taking a look at that very soon in the future. And I also have an update on that 55-gallon that I promised you, so we'll look at that soon as well. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a like, and let's take a look at the tank. All right, so sorry if I made anyone nauseous there, but this is the 36-gallon bow front aquarium. Now you can see right back here, sorry for all the snails. Some people call them a pest, but I actually like them, and I used them as food for some of my other fish. But this sword plant back here is actually a red Reuben sword. It was grown out of the water, so it hasn't turned red just yet. Still kind of shedding some leaves and getting used to being submerged. Over here I have a little bit of young water sprite that will be growing, and it'll get pretty tall, covering up most of this filter. Up on the power head, I have some hornwort from my 55-gallon. That'll grow nice and long and cross over, and I'm going to wrap some more around this power head over here as well. I just kind of like the way it looks around the power head, plus it keeps the little beta girls from getting sucked to it. Now this bag floating on top is an incubation for some killifish eggs, which is a whole nother project that I'm not going to get into right now. You can see 2 of the ladies right here. These are all crown tail females. They're loving having a 36-gallon just to swim around in. And the power heads are all on timers, so they're not always running. That's why you can see they're not getting like blown around or anything. Sometimes they actually like going and swimming in front of it too. Probably a lot more exercise than they're used to. And there's the last crown tail female. She's still kind of a baby. She's grown probably double her size in about a week, so definitely still juvenile, but she's coming along well. And when you look at this tank, you may ask yourself a couple questions, like what the heck's going on with these big pots over here? So these are Pleco caves that I made. They're supposed to be terracotta pots, but this gray striation layer right here was so hard it broke like 3 drill bits. So I'm thinking that it's probably concrete with a terracotta coating. I don't know if that's a thing, but they were super cheap pots. I just picked them up at the local hardware store, drilled them out with a circular saw and then a tile saw to finish because it kept breaking the circular saw bits. And I fixed some plants to them. So I wrapped them with some 100% acrylic yarn, so that won't degrade in the aquarium, and acrylic's completely aquarium safe, so you don't have to worry about that. And then on the top here, you see all those smushy things on top of the plants. Those are snail eggs. So I have snails breeding like crazy in here. And that's mostly just because of the excess food from the plecos. It takes a long time for the plecos to eat up their food. It's another reason that shrimp would help in this tank. And then this is a peacock moss. And it's in a couple different places. Now eventually that'll grow and spread all the way around the pot here. And then this on top is some Java fern. There's 3 pieces of Java fern, and they'll start spreading out and getting bigger. You can see some in some of my other tanks. There's some on this log as well. They're all affixed. This plant right here is a cryptocorn undulata. So it gets a nice, not quite red, but slightly red hue to the underneath of the leaves. There's another cryptocorn undulata there. Back here, these little kind of bushy plants are Blixa, and there's 1, 2, and then there's actually, this is a 3rd one that it started to shoot off. So those will get a little bit bigger, and they'll spread out just a little bit, and I'll start to repopulate them throughout the aquarium. And then the last plant that we're growing, well, I have 3 more plants really in here. This is Monte Carlo. So this pot was done in a similar fashion, slightly smaller hole. And I also have another Pleco cave back in here that's way smaller. So this is probably about a 1-inch hole. This is an inch and a, oh no, this is 2-inch, and this one's 3-inch. So I'm giving the Plecos, different size caves to see which ones they're most comfortable in. Plecos like to breed in caves with only 1 entrance and no exit, so that the males can block the females into the cave so that they will lay their eggs. And then once they lay their eggs, the males take over and do all the parenting and rearing of the fry, and defend the cave with their lives. Unfortunately, you have to be able to remove the caves because the Plecos won't eat. The male Plecos won't eat while they're breeding. There's also another cryptocorn undulata species back here. As you can see, there's several cichlid rocks. That Monte Carlo is a carpeting plant, so it's going to cover this whole pot is kind of the idea there, and then spread out onto the ground as well. And then back here we have some jungle val, corkscrew val, a scenaria, and then some Combomba carolinea back here by the power head, or the canister filter inlet. And that's been breeding like crazy. I removed most of it from this tank just because it's not doing really well with the lighting. It's kind of a low light setup. And most of these plants only require low light. That's why I've selected them. The Kabamba was part of a starter pack that we got, and it did okay at first, but it's just not enough light source to keep up with demand. This is a gigantic sponge filter. As you can see, this is my hand, so it's probably a good foot tall. It's really made for a much larger aquarium, but I run it in here because Plecos are kind of messy. And then underneath in the cabinets, I'm running Fluval. This would be a, I don't even remember what the number is. It says it over here. Not that we can see. But anyway. So that's what we're doing here. We've got a Penguin Whisper 350B. Not really my favorite filter, but I had one, so we've got that. We've got the sponge, and we've got the canister filter. It's way entirely too much filtration for this setup, but you know, I'm planning on breeding Plecos, which are kind of a messier species. Now these are dwarf Plecos. You can see one of them right there. That's a juvenile albino, and then we've got nice big full-grown male and female in here. We've got a much larger albino, and then several more smaller juvenile standard color variants there, and they're all hiding from the camera. They're a bit camera shy, but it's right now not all that much going on in here, but wanted to give you guys a little tank tour. So plenty of snails. These are all just bladder snails, just a pest snail. They came in on the plants. I'm letting them go hog wild in this tank just because they help reduce some of that, you know, extra poop and food and stuff left over from the messy Plecos. And I also use the snails as feeders for some other fish. So some of my African cichlids really like chomping on them. That's one of the reasons that I grow my hornwort in my African cichlid tank. They clean up snails in there. I also have a yo-yo loach or Pakistani loach, the bochia loach. They really love to eat snails as well. So every now and then I just scoop some snails out. They kind of gather in clumps, and you can see there's some food. All the snails gathering around. Snails are cool though. Look at them going crazy. So they're eating a Pleco wafer. I just fed these guys for the morning, and we'll feed them again in a little bit. There's one of our juvenile standard bristlenoses. I really wish the large male would come out so I could show you him. He's got really nice bristles on his front. There's another juvenile in the back, but he disappeared. So I'm sure you'll see them again here eventually. There he is. See, I'm not crazy. I'm sure you guys will see them here very soon. I'm going to keep you posted on this tank. It's going to be undergoing quite a few changes. As the plants grow out, it'll look better. Sorry for all the glares as well. You can see my African cichlid tank in the reflection right here, and my Keeley fish set up over here, but don't worry about all of that just yet. We'll get to those in separate videos. Just wanted to give you a good look-see at what I've got working right now. So these plants will of course be sprouting off, and they will be going up for sale. I do have a local fish store that I now officially work at 1 day a week, and I'll be managing their fish section. They also specialize in reptiles, live aquarium plants, birds, all kinds of stuff, some amphibians. And they have your normal dog and cat stuff as well. I'll be announcing all of that info very soon. But we are officially in a breeding contract with them, and all of the fish and plants and different aquatic species that I breed will be going and solely going through this store. So stay tuned if you're interested in where to get any of our offspring once they get grown and mature, and we will let you know where you can find those. I'll let you know what's will be going up for sale, and I'll give you the dates when they're available as well. Right now I don't have anything other than some hornwort, which is pretty common, so unless you're really looking for my hornwort, I don't think you're gonna go out of your way to get that. So oh, is that the male? No, just another juvenile. All right, so anyway, I'm not gonna ramble too much longer. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.